First question for Kelly, what attracted you to the project?
So many things. I think, firstly, just the fact that it's part of the Disney animation world. And then growing up as a kid, I was so obsessed with all of the Disney animated movies, and recognizing the legacy behind that, I think, is definitely one of the things that attracted me to it. The second thing is just the representation aspect of it, recognizing that this movie was going to be inspired by the part of the world that my family's from, made me really excited. And the third thing is that Raya is a very different type of character. And I think Disney's really trying to broaden the idea of what people think when they think of the words hero, when they think of the word princess. Like, Raya is unlike any princess or hero we've seen in this world before. And I think that, it's really cool to be a part of.
And Awkwafina, what attracted you to the project?
I think what attracted me to the project was just hearing what it was about, and how it would not only feature kind of the cultures of Southeast Asia, but also its first Southeast Asian Disney princess. And then hearing about the character that they had in mind for me, Sisu, that she was able to kind of explore being funny, but then also being, having these kind of like tear-jerker scenes that really I loved reading. And I think playing her was really just one of the greatest joys of my life. It really, really loved it.
Kelly, much has been said about Raya being the first Southeast Asian princess. So how do you feel about getting to voice her, and how is she different from other princess characters that we have seen?
I feel like it is and doesn't really make sense. It's really incredible to be a part of. And when I think of, just the legacy of all of these incredible Disney movies, and specifically if we're talking about Disney princesses, Raya is a really different character. And I want to be really specific about the way that I speak about Disney princesses. I think a lot of times people say there's sort of a negative connotation about those earlier movies. And I don't necessarily believe that. I think those earlier movies are really good. I think the problem is when we sort of have a really narrow perception of what it means to be a princess. And now we're sort of opening up the doors in terms of the types of people that we think of when we think of those words, because there really is nothing wrong with like wanting to be in love or liking pretty dresses. There's nothing wrong with that. I think what happens is the danger becomes when we only see the same types of representation over and over and over. So you think that's the only thing you can do. Mm-hmm. That's when it becomes a negative thing. So it's really cool that we are, part of a movie that is changing that. And Raya is someone who is a warrior and who gets to be really angry, which we haven't seen before. I'm just really excited for people to see this movie and to meet this character.
Beautiful. Awkwafina, Sisu is an unusual dragon character. She certainly doesn't fit the mold. What do you find the most fun about playing her, and how is she a relatable character?
I mean, I always love playing relatable characters. I never really thought that I'd find one in a dragon. I think with the normal way that we're introduced to those characters is kind of in my experience, I think of the Game of Thrones dragons comes to mind, where, they're kind of just these symbols of, they're just so cool. You know what I mean? And while Sisu is very, very cool, she's also imperfect and flawed, and she's aware of those flaws. And she's very trusting and like loving, almost to a fault. She's innocent. These are all traits that I think at certain times in my life I can identify with, and that I just really had fun playing, exploring. Yeah.
Amazing. Tell us about the unusual experience of recording from your homes and working with the directors over the internet. What was the most challenging and what was the most fun? We'll start with Kelly.
The most challenging thing about working from home, well, I was really lucky because my boyfriend's a genius and was able to create this incredible setup where, actually, Awkwafina, I wanted to ask, did you have to do a lot of ADR lines?
I did do ADR. I don't know what's considered a lot. I think it was maybe 1 or 2 sessions of it.
Yeah. Okay, so my boyfriend's like a crazy genius. I'm not sure how he did it, but because of his setup, I only had to do, like, I'm not exaggerating, like 4 lines for the whole movie.
Well, I think it's his setup, but also, probably your performance.
No. I'm pretty sure it's his microphone.
Can I have come over? I mean, like, I think we're still in ADR. The movie's coming out.
You want to come over?
I have an ADR session tomorrow, actually.
But yeah, the challenges were that obviously would have loved to have been in the same room and be able to sort of create that really cool, like, creative collaboration that happens when you're all in the same space and playing off of each other. But that being said, more challenges. The list goes on and on. The internet cutting out, bad. Any sounds from outside, and there's a lot of construction around.
A lot of sounds.
And
hold traffic from the inside.
Sirens, just like constant barrage
yelling.
Yeah. But that being said, I will say there were some positive experiences about it, and and those included being able to see inside people's homes and and getting more of their personality. Okay, I know that sounds so creepy, but
No, it's not. It's true. That's so true.
Talk about Carlos's plants. That guy has a flourishing plant population.
I was in his office most of the time.
Really?
He didn't show I didn't show when we were in sessions. He was mostly in his office, which didn't have a lot of plants. It had a lot of light though. It was a room with good light.
Really? Okay.
So we know that about his house. That's why he has a lot of plants. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, he lives in an atrium. I have no idea, but I loved guessing.
Oh man, but yeah, getting to see like more parts of people's lives that we wouldn't normally get to see was pretty cool.
Nice. And then what do you hope audiences will take away when they see Raya and the Last Dragon? Awkwafina, I'll start with you.
I hope audiences see the message that I think is a really big part of the movie, and I think of all Disney movies. But for this one, trust and unity over hate. And also I hope that some people can watch the movie and identify a familiarity about the places and the people and the things that they're seeing, and then people who aren't familiar with it will gain some kind of understanding of what that world is like. And I mostly hope that everyone enjoys it.
Yep.
Great. Kelly, anything to add?
But yeah, I guess I agree with everything Awkwafina said in terms of wanting people to leave with the idea that fighting for a better world, even if you're living during a time where you don't even know it exists, is a worthwhile cause. And recognizing that the one thing to bring us out of all of this would be our communities and our relationships with each other. I think that that's something that stayed with me watching the movie, and I hope it resonates with people.